So it's been a while of Kyle Davidson. Do we trust him yet?
I don't distrust him.
Can we trust him?
That's tough. I think it's too early to declare Kyle Davidson good GM.
Right.
I think what we see compared to the last guy,
Stan
there is a plan beyond this year.
Yeah.
There are some nads involved in the moves he's made. He's willing to be unpopular. My criticisms would be I feel like he's a little late on the call-ups and maybe a little too conservative about Rockford guys. Like, hey, if someone's hurt, call somebody up. It's not the end of the world to disrupt the Ice Hogs, right?
Yeah.
And I think we all agree we were hoping for more for DeBrincat. So I think for me personally, the jury is still out. However, I'm confident that his plan is sound. Whether or not they get Bedard or Fantilli, whether or not those guys pan out to what we think they're going to be, whether or not the prospects they have right now develop remains to be seen. But there is definitely a plan that's very clear to see if you look. So to me, that's a good start. And now we got to wait and see.
Yes, the foundation is there for him to be a good NHL general manager. But he's only really had one phase of this so far, and that's the draft.
This deadline is going to be huge.
He was interim GM
right
last season for the majority of the season.
So far, he's focusing on restocking the prospect cupboard, and he's done a good job. You go from 0 first-round picks to 3. He's got at least 4 more over the next 2 drafts. Very good start. But how is he when it comes to trying to build? He's very good at building a roster that's going to be garbage. How is he going to be? How is he going to be to build a roster when it's time to win?
Yeah,
it's very easy to construct the worst team in the league. It's hard to construct a Stanley Cup champion when you have to find those right guys. He who shall not be named, for all the criticism he gets, he did have a knack of finding that perfect role player to plug in. Your Brad Richardsons, bringing Christopher Stieg back. Getting guys like that is not as easy as it looks.
Vermette, Oduya, he did it even Hanzus. He did it year after year.
He had that knack of finding that one veteran that fit is exactly what they were missing.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get to that point with Kyle Davidson, but he's off to a really good start. So do I trust him? I don't distrust him.
I trust the plan.
Yes, he's got a plan. Now we got to see him work. So let's see how this draft class is. Let's see when we start getting some of these guys to the NHL level, or if maybe none of them get to the NHL. Like, let's see how the development goes. Obviously, he's preaching patience, maybe a little too much in some cases, but we'll see how that goes. But how is he going to come down when it's time to negotiate for one of the big free agents? Is he going to swing and miss? Is he going to give everybody a goddamn no trade clause, no movement clause? Like, no.
It's like the Oprah gif.
Is he going to get creative?
You get a no movement clause.
Is he going to get creative in some of these contracts when it's time to start worrying about the Stanley Cup, or the salary cap? So we've only seen a small portion of what an NHL GM has to do.
Yeah.
And so far, so good. Are there things that we could criticize? Absolutely. But overall, big picture, he's doing exactly what this franchise needs. The plan is good. Let's see if the execution follows.
And I think to the point of how will he be when this team eventually is ready to contend again, I think one thing that I trust in thinking that he'll be able to figure things out the right way is, since he's been GM, he's had a player type and characteristics that he's looking for, and you saw it in turning Alex Nylander into Sam Lafferty. Small deal, but an improvement. You look at his draft class; every guy that he picked had some combination of size, speed, high compete level, high character. He definitely has as they say, he has a type. And I think those are guys that, if he's good at identifying those characteristics and those traits in players, it'll be really interesting to see how he goes through another draft class and goes through another free agency class where next summer's free agency class and the summer after in 2024, there's going to be a lot of interesting players available, and there's going to be a lot of money for him to spend. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he approaches those free agency periods, and I think that can give us a better barometer of what he'll do down the road. And the other thing I like about Kyle Davidson is that he is not focused on him alone making those decisions. He has brought in Norm McIver, he's got Jeff Greenberg, and he's got a plethora of other assistant GMs that he can consult with scouting, with organizational management, like just different. It's not just I'm the be all end all. I'm Kyle Davis. He's got a team. He's got a team he's working with.